Well, good morning, everybody. Neighborhood's starting to wake up. It's going to get loud here shortly with lawnmowers and weed eaters and stuff. So I wanted to come out and give a quick update. It's been a long time, I know. No excuse. Show some of the orchids, how well they're doing, how well they're growing. And give you an update on what's going on. But my plants are doing tremendous. They've been growing so well this summer outside. I've done so many videos on how to grow orchids. If I never put another video out and gave you any more information, there should be plenty of information out there to grow them. Orchids need 4 things to grow. They need good water, they need good light, they need airflow, and they need nutrients. They need the cleanest, purest water you can give them. Anything that's over 25 parts per million, I would not use in my orchids. Everybody can make their own decisions. I'm just telling you what I do. I don't use any tap water that has over 25 parts per million on my orchids. I use RO water or rainwater. You also notice I don't use trays underneath any of my plants. I mean, they can drain out here outside, but even when they were inside, I don't use trays underneath my plants. Airflow is super important. I also don't want to hold those nutrients and those excess salts and excess nutrients against the bottom of the pot for the pot to soak up or the plant to soak up. I think that's super important. I'm feeding pretty strong outside. I'm feeding, I don't know, anywhere from 150 to 225 parts per million. When I soak them, some plants are getting a little more, some plants are getting a little bit less. They never, ever get water that doesn't have calcium in it. Just want to emphasize that. And I'm giving them lots and lots of sunlight, as much light as they can take. When I start to see the plants struggling against the light, getting too much light, that's when I'll back it off a little bit. But I want to give them as much light as they can possibly take. And so far, it seems like it's working. They are growing like crazy. Just doing so well. And getting so big. Some of these plants are really getting big. Outgrowing the pots already. Big shoot. Holding onto those spikes, stacking leaves, holding onto those spikes. This is RLC Chief Rainbow, and it's just become a beast of a plant. Lots of sun. Got a big sheath here, got another sheath coming down here. Really happy about that. Dendrobium's getting so big. Some of these dendrobiums are almost 30 inches tall. Just getting big. Big, beautiful growth on them. BO Yellowbird, this thing blooms and blooms and blooms. And it's got 4 new growths on it. Just beautiful. And more plants. Even the air plants have gotten just monstrous size to them. Doing great. I apologize for the quick and jerky movements here this morning. That's LC Denard Blue Heaven. Look at the roots on this beautiful plant. Gorgeous little green tips on them. Something about a mounted orchid. Big beautiful growth on it. They're just so beautiful. Phalaenopsis just stacking those leaves up. Look at the leaves stacking up. This one's got a couple of cakeys in it. It's still just stacking up. If you gotta feed them, you gotta feed them right. Look at the root growth. Look at the crazy root growth. And again, stacking those leaves up, holding onto those spikes. There's another one. That Phalaenopsis back there has 2 cakeys on it. It's forming a beautiful little clump. There's Dendrobium, My Sweet Wink. Loving that mount. Doing beautiful. This is one of my favorite plants, absolute favorites. This is Encyclia tampensis. This was another gift from Paula at Hillbilly Orchids, and what a beautiful plant. And it just grows so easy and so well. Seems to love that piece of wood. Cannot get enough sun. This will take full bright sun. Doesn't seem to phase it a bit. More sun the better, and it seems very drought resistant. Sorry for all that weird movements. Let me show you. Here's another one I wanted to show. This is the aggregatum, Dendrobium aggregatum, but really has taken over that piece of wood. Seems to be very, very happy on it. What a gorgeous mount. This has given me several big new growths this year. Really big growths. What a pretty one. I really wanted to show these three. This is Catasetum, or Catasandra fanfare. Has 3 new growths on it. Has done beautiful for me this year. I got this from Paul at Hillbilly Orchids this past fall, and she sent me this one this spring. This bulb, this is Catasetum Chuck Taylor, and it had a beautiful bloom spike with 7 blooms on it. And I did not get it on video in time, but I do have some photographs of it, and I'll try and get one up here so you can see what it looks like. But really nice sized growth. Real happy with that. Planted in lava rock. All 3 of these are planted in lava rock. The Cata fanfare was in lava rock, and the Fred Clark After Dark, what a beast. What a huge plant. Did very well for me. Big growth on it. Did really good. Planted in lava rock in that wooden box. So I've got one in a wooden box, one in a clay pot, and the Chuck Taylor, which is in a plastic pot. I didn't mean to leave this in the plastic pot, but it grew so fast. I did have another pot and at the time left it in that, and it's just really grown into it. So I'll change it out this fall, but when it goes dormant. But there's a lot of information on growing catasetums. I'm not a catasetum expert by any means. It's my first time ever growing them, but I'm just going to tell you how I grew them. And I know out there's a lot of information out on catasetums, people growing them, and they recommend that you don't water them, you don't feed them, you don't do anything until the shoots get to a certain size, 3 or 4 inches tall, and the roots get to a certain size, 4 or 5 inches long, etc. Everybody's heard that stuff. Everybody's heard it. I'm just going to explain. I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. I'm just going to tell you what I did, and you can judge for yourself. But when the shoots on mine, when they started growing this spring, and the shoots on mine got to be about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch tall, and the roots were a 1/4 inch long, just sticking out, I put the water to them. I pumped them full of water. I started watering and I started feeding. Started watering, started feeding, and they just exploded in growth. Just went crazy in growth. I've never had any mealybugs, spider mites, aphids, scale. I've not had any pest issues. The only pest issues that affected these guys was we had some grasshoppers go through early in spring, back in middle of May, and they chewed for a day or 2 on a few plants here and there and throughout the garden, and then they left, and I've had nothing since. These guys have just grown and grown and grown, done well, very well. I didn't have any setback. My plants didn't stall. My roots didn't die back. My shoots didn't die back. To me, those are all signs of calcium deficiency, and I give a lot of calcium. I've harped about calcium, given plants calcium for a long time. I think everybody's heard me talk about it. These guys never got water that didn't have calcium in it. If it rained on them, I would come out immediately afterwards and spray them with some cow mag, 25 or 30 parts per million in some rainwater or in some RO water, and give it to them to make sure to replenish all that cow mag. Any orchid growing on a tree in the wild or on a cliff face or anything like that is going to have calcium around them all the time. It's going to have plenty of calcium. In our environments, in my shade house, where I'm not under trees, I'm around trees, but I'm not under trees. But any orchid that's not in its natural environment, hanging on a tree or a limestone cliff or someplace like that, is not getting enough calcium. We have to provide it in our environments, in our grow rooms, in our greenhouses, on our kitchen counters, and in our basements or wherever we're growing them. We have to provide that. I think that's the reason these plants die back. They have shoot issues and root issues and stuff. And I think media has something to do with it. This is one plant that they grow so fast you could put them in a organic media like moss and bark, and I'm sure they do really, really well. I see people grow when they get really, really big, but I like the lava rock. I think once they become established in the lava rock, they'll do even better. So this is just their first time, so I think after a year or two of being in there in this type of setup, it'll be much better. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on Catasetum growth, but I didn't have any problems with it. I think as long as if you give them water, that's not going to set them back unless you don't have any calcium in it. So again, like I said, orchids need good water, really, really good water. I don't use water that's over 25 parts per million on my plants unless it's just a flush with. I provide lots of calcium for my plants, always, always, always. Nutrients I'm feeding, like I said, 150 to 225 or something. I'm feeding often, but my plants are in lava rock or gravel or wooden boxes, and so it's very easy for me to water. They don't ever get too wet. They don't ever get saturated. I don't have to wait for the media to dry out. I can just keep watering and keep feeding, and they thrive on it. I'm treating them like orchids. I'm treating them like jungle plants, and they seem to really respond to it. So sunlight, I give my plants as much light as I can possibly give them, lots and lots and lots of sunlight, until I start to see a reaction that they're getting too much sun, and then I'll back it down a little bit. But I give them a lot of sun. In the shade house here, they get beautiful dappled light, lots and lots of bright light. Our temperatures are 80 to 100 degrees, and that doesn't seem to change much. We're slowly cooling down as we get into fall here, but it'll be a month or two before we ever get really cool. Airflow, super, super important. You notice I don't use trays. I don't use anything. Even when I'm inside, I don't use trays. There's nothing wrong with putting a tray to catch the runoff when you water your plant or feed your plant, but take the tray back out from underneath it later on to ensure that it gets plenty of airflow. And I also don't want to trap nutrients and excess salts or anything against the bottom of the pot. I don't get the white buildup on pots that a lot of people get. I don't seem to have those issues, and I think that's why. So anyway, just a couple things that I do. So one of the other things I want to talk about real quick to give you an update on is first let me start by saying that my channel is about orchids. It's about growing orchids. I've mentioned before that I have Parkinson's, but my channel is not about me having Parkinson's and how I'm dealing with it or what I'm going through. That would be a separate channel. I don't want my channel to be known for the bad things that happen to me or the bad things that I'm going through. I don't want to discuss my illnesses and different things like that on my channel. I will give you an update and tell you if something's going on with me personally, just because if it affects my channel. And this is definitely going to affect my channel. One of the reasons I haven't been around a lot and may not be around for a little while here and there, just kind of sparsely for a little while, is I've mentioned before on my channel that I've dealt with skin cancer. Have dealt with it for over the past 30 years, and I've had, I don't know, way more than over 120 cut off me, surgically cut off me and stitched back up. That doesn't include the 100 or so that they've taken off me through scraping or freezing or various other methods, and it doesn't include the 100 plus or so that I've taken off myself with various methods that probably don't want to discuss on the internet. But to no avail, it has gotten inside me. So I was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma, and I have a couple of tumors inside me, and I started it's like chemo immunotherapy for it, and the treatments are not too bad. And you know, let me remind everybody that my beautiful wife is a nurse, and she has been through cancer twice in her life. She was diagnosed with lymphoma and leukemia at the same time, which is almost unheard of 30 plus years ago, and she survived that. And then 5 or 6 years ago on my channel, she went through triple negative breast cancer, and she's a survivor as well. Complete remission. She knows the ropes. She's been in and out of the system for a long time, and as a nurse, she knows what she knows a lot about how this is going to play out. I could not ask for a better coach. I couldn't ask for a better partner to go through this with. She's my caregiver, and she does a great job at it. I also have a great oncologist, Dr. Allendorf. I also have some incredible people at the clinic, at the oncology center that are helping me, Alabama Oncology, that are helping me go through this also. And along with the immunotherapy, possibly some radiation treatments and a few other things like that, I'm hoping I can whip this stuff and get back to what I want to do, which is grow orchids and have a great life. So, not to startle anybody, not to get anybody upset, not to get anybody worried. Please don't worry. I'll take a prayer. I'll take a good thought. I'll take a kind word. But smile when you do it. Smile when you do it. I'm smiling now as I tell you all this, okay? I'm in great hands. And the best healer himself, the good Lord himself, the best and best healer on earth, has got me in his hands. He's leading me through this. He's guiding me through this. I know he's going to guide me through this. And I know he's putting the best people in front of me. So I'm not worried about it. I know I'm in good hands. Between Jan and him, I know I'm in good hands. So I wanted to give you an update because it's definitely going to affect my abilities to take care of stuff here. It has already. And it's I'm just beginning this process, so there's a lot to come. But I've got beautiful plants growing. They're doing tremendous. They give me so much joy. Answering the questions and the comments and just seeing all the thoughts, prayers, and everything just gives me so much strength. It means the world to Jan and I. And we just cannot thank you guys enough. So I'm not saying goodbye. I'm just going to say I'll see you in a little while. I've got to take care of some stuff here, and I've got to get through this. And I'll be back. I promise I'll come back, and I'll update you here shortly and let you know how things are going. But and also give you an update on the orchids because they'll be moving inside here sometime the next week or two, and we'll be growing inside again. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you again for everything that you've done for me, that you are doing for me, that you'll continue to do for me. It means the world to me. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.